All right, welcome back. We are back late night. I know that I'm public. I got off work early today on purpose, and I'm in a different mood. And I want to deal with this story and sort of give a message and deal with some harsh truths. I was about to name this stream Harsh Truths. I think I might have put it on the thumbnail or something. But you see the title. What a disturbing channel I have. Right? And I'm talking about my channel. What a disturbing channel. You know, sometimes I get headstrong. You know, I'm a real headstrong dude. At least I like to think I am. But I go overboard. Sometimes I need to lighten up and call it like it is. These cases are disturbing, which makes for a disturbing channel. These are horrible stories, and it helps sometimes to just go ahead and say it and acknowledge it. Now, this surfaced, I think, yesterday. Either yesterday or a few hours ago. And like all the rest of the stories, anytime they give details of the case, it's always a very disturbing case. And it's always revealed that the attack was unprovoked. Nobody did anything to these worthless turds, especially when it comes to a young victim. They're all unprovoked.
Girl is in the hospital tonight. Police say she was mauled by a dog. It happened this morning near East R.D. Mize in South Ringo. The girl suffered several injuries, including a serious bite to her neck. The dog is now with animal control. KCTV5's Gianni Navarro, she's live at Children's Mercy.
A serious bite to the neck. Now, I think I may have actually went over this briefly. I don't remember what I said. I think it was the other channel. I don't remember what I said and don't care. I got a whole new line of thought right now. And I could do this 100 times with the same story, because there's so much to learn, so many lessons in these reports. And that's part of what frustrates me. Why don't y'all see it? They do. They do. Because it's by design. This is how they want it.
Hospital. Gianni, I understand you've been talking with neighbors where this happened. What are they saying?
Zach, next door neighbors tell me that the young girl plays in her backyard all the time, and to see that she was attacked truly breaks their heart.
That's really troubling to know that a young child was hurt so badly.
An Independence neighborhood is shaken up after a young girl who was...
Now look at that. I assume a lot of times that everybody knows this. These types of fences are worthless, especially when you're talking about a bully breed. You need to pretend as if they're not even there. Here it is, they're letting their 5-year-old go play in the backyard, and it's really all based on the fact that they assume these fences protect and keep the dogs out. No, they effortlessly leap over these fences or squeeze right underneath them.
Playing in her backyard was suddenly attacked by a dog. Around 10 a.m.
You hear that dog barking? I bet you anything it was barking at the cameramen and or crew present and filming right now. These things are so aggressive, and we should not tolerate their hostility towards us, especially seeing that we're the only entities that maintain their existence. It's almost shocking that they're still hostile towards human beings, while every other animal out in nature isn't.
On Tuesday, the next-door neighbors say they were woken up by yells for help. When they looked outside their window, they say they saw what appeared to be a pit bull mauling the girl. Police say the dog was not on a leash and jumped over the fence.
Not on a leash. Jumped over the fence. And you heard them say the dog was mauling, right? Mauling. But yet earlier, they said that she suffered a bite to the neck. No, she suffered a mauling to the neck. These attacks are so brutal, it's inappropriate to use the word bite. These not bites. What are you talking about? These are not even lacerations. These are shreddings.
The neighbors say the dogs have done that in the past, but this is the first time they have attacked someone. Despite that being the case, other neighbors say the attack has left them.
They've jumped the fence in the past. Y'all catch that?
Despite that being the first time they have say the dogs have done that in the past, but this is the first time they have attacked someone.
So the red flags was there. Like, hey, the 5-year-old cannot play in the backyard because the neighbor has pit bulls and they've jumped the fence before. I'm telling you now, some people will be aware of that and let the 5-year-old play out there anyway. They'll still be under the impression that the dog won't attack, even if it's hopped the fence in the past. They'll still assume, well, yeah, but it won't maul the 5-year-old. The brainwashing is so powerful. People are always under the impression that attacking people is something that's not in a dog's nature until it's actually mauling someone. Suddenly, all of a sudden, oh, I never thought this could happen. Yeah, I believe you. That's exactly how you all are thinking.
Despite that being the case, other neighbors say the attack has left them questioning whether their kids are safe in their own yard.
I have 3 kids.
Of course not. And you questioning? It should be confirmed by this point that they're not safe. What are you talking about? The dogs jumped the fence. You're still questioning whether or not it'll actually launch an attack after it hops the fence. So you continue to let the 5-year-old play in the backyard. The dog actually attacks her. You're still questioning if it's safe. What is it going to take for y'all to actually say this is dangerous? It's dangerous to own these things, and a fence won't help. Fence ain't going to keep that mutt on the other side.
It's myself, and we have our 4th on the way. Knowing that that's a safety concern.
Listen, the denseness of human beings. There are a lot of people who would, because they never seen their pit bull hop the fence, there are a lot of people who believe that their dog couldn't and never would. Because there's never been a 5-year-old on the other side of the fence to make the dog want to hop the fence. They don't think like this. When there's a target, a victim, you'll see your dog do things you've never seen it before. You've never seen it do before. You should assume that before you actually see it do anything. But people don't think like that.
Concern, and we've had a lot of dogs, even in the area, strays that have come through.
Valerie
Strays that have just come through, huh?
Martinez, who did not want to be on camera, says they have lived in the area for 2 years and says that stray dogs and dogs on the loose have been a big issue.
We've also had several strays jump into our yard. I've called animal control on a bull mastiff that was running loose, no collar or anything like that.
A bull mastiff. A giant bully breed, in other words. Basically, an XL bully. A stray? That wasn't no stray. Probably not. It's probably somebody's dog. That's what I'm
Collar or
talking about.
anything like that.
The Independence Fire Department, who responded to the incident, says the city has their fair share of animal attacks, but that it's not an ongoing issue, and says it's always terrible when a child is involved in one.
Anytime you hear about a child getting hurt, seriously or not, it's shocking.
Now,
Nothing stops it from being shocking.
shocking. Now, I'm going to make an assumption. If I were to ask every lawmaker, every politician, president, everybody involved in running the nation, if I were to ask them if they agree with this guy, most of them would say, yes, I agree. What do I mean most? All of them. They would say it's shocking and horrible and all of that. But do you know what? They would be lying. Many of them would be lying. There's no way that many of you are shocked if these things are legal and promoted the way that they are as harmless. And if they attack your youngsters, well, your youngsters did something to provoke it. That's y'all's mantra. Y'all not that shocked. Not enough of you are shocked. It's shocking. Let me tell you, it's shocking that so many people involved in running the country are not shocked. You don't hear politicians, mayors, governors speaking against dog culture. They all got social media platforms. Any attorney, judge, whatever, vice president, president, they could talk against dog culture and say these things should be illegal, should be banned, much as they want. There's several people in media who already do. Matt Walsh. Several of these people. That Beth Stuckey. They at least speak against pit bulls. The higher up you go, the fewer people you see speaking out against dog culture, whether it's pit bulls or not. Oh no, that's what I'm shocked about. Not even half of you are dead set against dog culture. That's a problem.
Police have not released details on the dog's breed or whether this dog has been aggressive in the past.
We can guess.
This situation is still under investigation. Live in Kansas City, Gianni Navarro, KCTV5 News.
Pretty crazy. What a sick culture.
It's terrible, especially given the trauma.
It's not that terrible. I'm tired of hearing people talk about how terrible and awful and shocking these cases are. And I'm sitting looking at a whole body of lawmakers and enforcers fully co-sign with dog culture. Police officers, they're crazy about dogs, love dogs, and they are not against dog culture. All the politicians, governors, mayors, senators, all of them co-sign this very demonic and very sick culture. Now, we've talked about how so few of these people have genuine love and concern. Like they lose their soul, they lose their humanity. the more they participate in dog culture, because, I mean, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense to me. You interact with a dog, it's quite naturally there's going to be something about you that's going to become less human. You're treating it as if it's a human, giving emotion and attention and energy to it that you're supposed to be given to a human. And then you manufacturing a reciprocity. You know, you're pretending that the dog is giving it back, talking to you back, giving you love back, even though it's actually not. So you're not having a human on with human experience. So you sort of fall out of touch with people. It makes sense. A lot of these dog people who you think are people friendly or whatever, a lot of times they're actually very dominating and inconsiderate, more than anything inconsiderate, which is inhumane. To just own these things is an inconsiderate act on part of dog lovers. Once you own them, you're already involved in devaluing yourself, belittling, dehumanizing yourself and everyone around you. And I've talked about how I suspect that some of these people purposely allow their dog to attack their young so that they could get a GoFundMe popping. They see these GoFundMes raise tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They might be broke, hard on their luck. And, $50,000 sounds like a lifesaver to them. It's unfortunate, but we have people in the world like that. And it's not just speculation. This surfaced yesterday too. See that? Woman fabricates dog attack to conceal the sale of an 18-day-old infant. She lied, claimed that a dog took the 18-day-old infant away. Oh, the dog took her and ran away with her. 18 days old. Now, to do something like that, to run away with an infant, would suggest that the dog plans on eating the infant. And we all know dogs don't do that. And that's probably what tipped them off. Like, what? It ran away? Dogs don't do that. They delete just for the sport of deleting. They don't run nowhere. They attack and shake and delete and leave the victim there. No. As if the dog is a leopard or something. Oh, just snatched her up and ran off. Right? Hid in the bushes. Oh, that evil doggy. Nah. This was a cover-up for the illegal sale of the infant. People will do stuff like this for money. They don't care. Figure I had one kid, I can have another one. Life would be better if I, give up this child, get a bunch of money, then I'll be better prepared to have another child. Right? And then she could say to her unborn child or newborn or child, whatever, hey, I had to do this so that you wouldn't have a rough life. You know, they have to rationalize it in their own mind. I'm doing it for you. I don't want you to grow up broke. You have to imagine this happens. It's definitely possible. And I firmly believe things like this happen with, as far as in regard to dog attacks. There's enough stories out here. There are plenty of reports. There's just no excuse for anybody being ignorant of the risk involved. You know, but I know it get difficult to think outside of how you think. You think that just because you wouldn't do something this sick, that others wouldn't. Oh yeah, they would. And we need to remember, we're shaped by our experiences. Our experiences shape us, shapes our reality, shapes what we view as acceptable. I remember the first time I watched those documentaries on the Chicago gang wars, and I'm always surprised at how many mothers of those kids knew about them having bodies and was okay with it and actually, supported it. And those boys would be 12, 13, 14, 15, those kids, children. Where there's some women, some mothers in parts of the world, they can't even fathom that there are mothers like that in the world. Like what? Like King Von, you remember when he got locked up for some bodies? His mom and sister took over his Twitter. Immediately started putting out tweets for him. He locked up, but he'll be out. King Von, from jail, told his sister, when I get out, I'm just going to keep killing people. She went to Twitter and laughed about it. Told everybody what he said and like, ha ha, ain't that funny? Some people's reality, how we think is shaped by our experiences. They grew up around death. Constant death and conflict. So there are most certainly people like this out here. Now get this. I think the grandmother sold the infant. See that? The child's grandmother sold the infant. Someone who you would expect to be older and wiser, least likely to do something like that. And the police returned the infant to the parents, 18 days old. So I don't care if this is another country. I see that same demon here in the U.S. in dog culture. The harsh truth is that dog culture is inhumane. It's soulless. It's demonic. It devalues human life. And the younger the human life is, the more it's devalued. That's a fact based on math. That's not my opinion. And that is dog culture. I hope you're proud of yourselves. Members of dog culture, I hope you're proud of yourselves. Because that's truly twisted and sick. Hopefully, y'all snap out of it as soon as possible. Shout out to all of you able to join me on this late night creeper. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.